Hey guys, I just found a new pattern using this three-phase transformation technique. It is something that I studied the government's pattern, and I'm sure I can bring you more certainty in funneling and choosing your developments. Do you know that the KPE and the Northeast Line, they actually run parallel underground each other? And if you look at that, you would see that Punggol and Sengkang used to be one of the most ulu places, but today it's not. Because why? That's where the next generation has been staying, and of course a new township has been formed there with the connectivity and transportation a lot more efficient. Next, you see within the same line itself, we have Buangkok, Serangoon and Kovan, where the government focuses residential developments there, and we have seen an increase in terms of their property prices from 500 PSF to even 1,500 per square foot. In 2023, the government has confirmed the final transformation along this line, which is along Outram Park. Farrer Park, Boon Keng and Little India is known to be a medical hub. Finally, to wrap this whole purple line up, we have the Bidadari Estate, which forms the Potong Pasir and the Woodleigh line. Moving forward, what is the next pattern? So I'm going to open my Google Maps here right now. We type in rail corridor. You will see this green line that travels from Kranji all the way downwards to Tanjong Pagar. This was what our forefathers used to travel and commute between JB as well as Singapore. That one is now defunct and it is no longer working. But the thing is this whole green line here actually belongs to Malaysia. And I want you all to see, where is Bukit Batok? Bukit Batok may sound like the most ulu place to you, but if you look at it, Bukit Batok is in fact in the center of Singapore. So why is it even ulu? Because of this green line that I showed you, it actually belongs to Malaysia. We cannot use or dig underground to create MRT stations, so on and so forth, to make it easily commutable and accessible. Our north-south line travels all the way down from north to south, go one round, then finally hit Bukit Batok. Why am I telling you this? Because if you look at this, what runs in parallel to the rail corridor? If we zoom in here, we will see one more MRT line running in parallel to the rail corridor, which is the downtown line. It starts from Bukit Panjang, and you can see the distance between these two lines are so narrow. You will realize the prices from the downtown line running in parallel to the rail corridor has actually increased all the way until even 2,500 to 2,800 per square foot. Now, this story is also more or less over. So which is the other line that runs in parallel to another highway? The north-south corridor versus the Thomson East Coast Line. And if you look at the Thomson East Coast Line, using my three-phase concept, it was announced in 15 August 2014, which created awareness. The Lentor station was completed in 2021, that whole stretch, followed by the East Coast side of things in 2023. Now everybody, based on my previous concept, what is the next phase? Infrastructure. And that's where the growth story really happens. If you look at the whole MRT line here, you will realize what the government is trying to do. They are trying to focus on the Woodlands North, Woodlands South and Woodlands Station, followed by Lentor, to make sure it's sold at a certain price between 2,000 to 2,004 per square foot, which is whatever that is transacted right now, with Norwood Grand transacting more than 83% in one weekend. This will provide price support for stations like Upper Thomson, Bright Hill and Mayflower. If we look at the East Coast portion of things, you have Tanjong Katong, you have Katong Park, Tanjong Rhu and Marine Parade. This is considered prime East Coast. These are places where people, consumers are willing to pay 3,000 per square foot. But looking at the next few stations, we have Siglap, Marine Terrace and Bayshore. There will be government land sales happening there, and you realize how much would the government want to sell them at. Only with Tanjong Katong, Tanjong Rhu and Katong Park selling at 3,000 per square foot, in that way it will provide a price support for the subsequent stations. And if we take a more bird's eye view of things, you will realize all the government land sales is happening along this line. So to my audience and consumers, do you know the pattern how to choose your properties right now? I've created an ebook explaining in detail about this transformation phase, but most importantly, how can we navigate in the current market, especially with so much uncertainty and fear? How can I make the investment or purchase safe for you?